because it's important. So welcome everyone to the Mastermind Book Club. Tonight's book that we are reviewing is Outwitting the Devil. Who got a chance to listen to this book? Who got a chance to listen to this book? Did anyone get a chance?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, David.
Yes,
okay.
Trudy?
I did.
Gina,
yeah.
Gina.
Yeah,
yes.
for the most part. Yeah, I still had like an hour to go, but it was very fascinating. Oh my goodness.
Wow, it is powerful.
Yes.
It is a powerful book. What was one thing you got out of it so far?
Oh my goodness. I got so much stuff out of it, and it's like I was just looking forward to you know, going over this with you. Can you guys still hear me?
Yep, we hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, it talks about, it call it definiteness of purpose, you know, versus drifting, and how, you know, like it says the devil utilizes a tool of fear to keep us down, you know.
Yes.
And that it was fascinating how he said that like 98%, he's got like 98% of the people under his power and his influence, and how he referred to himself as the negative energy, you know, rather than an entity that, you know, as humans like to sometimes portray him as. And it's like, should I continue?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. And he fears, one of the things that he fears, the power of independent thought, okay, backed by definiteness of power. And then it goes around and talk about what he thought sin was, is anything one does or thinks which causes one to be unhappy, and that as human beings we are to, let me see, be sound in spiritual and physical health, you know, okay, and we should be at peace with ourselves and always happy, all right, and that any form of physical or mental misery indicates that there's a presence of sin, you know, in our lives. So
Got it.
I mean, I can go on and on. It's like I was up
right
late.
This book is amazing.
Last night. It's like one of the most fascinating books that I ever read, actually. And I read some fascinating books, but this one caught my attention.
This caught my attention immensely. This one and The Science of Getting Rich are two of the books that I believe go hand in hand with everything that we need to do. Let me just see who I need to mute here.
That's probably me.
Oops. Oh, okay. Sorry.
That's okay. Lots of stuff going on in the background here at the place.
Not to
I think
worry.
Martha wanted to say something as well.
So yes, Martha.
I was very surprised. The book it was it was drawn in 1938.
1938. Yes.
1938. And his prediction, it was a reality at the time.
Yes.
And it's
Correct.
Still now. And it's still
Correct.
now.
Correct.
So amazing. I was so surprised. And I say, never change it. It's still the same. The world is still the same.
It is.
Everybody wants to be powerful. Everyone wants to be making a lot of money. And the people, they don't have the brains. So they get behind. And the people, when in control, and have the power to the human beings, they try to fight to keep it on. It's that only few people, they become powerful in this world, and the rest, well, like a dummies, just go behind.
Yes. Correct.
And then this is sad for me. It was
yes. Sad. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So, Martha, you said a lot, and I'm going to cover part of that in a few minutes, but I want to give other people a chance to speak as well, especially Tawana, who recommended this book, and I wanted to get her input on the book if she has a chance. I don't know if she can speak. Ty, can you speak, or are you unable to unmute yourself? Tawana. Oh, there she goes.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. How are you, Ty?
I'm okay. Trying to stay safe in this pandemic.
Right? Yes, we all are. Yes.
Thank goodness.
Boy, oh boy. So talk to us. What do you think?
Well, honestly, I was gonna like mention this book like a few weeks before, like prior, but I wasn't sure that it fit like the space. So something said, well, no, just let David know and just see if it can be something that we can all use. But when I first read and heard this book, I was like kind of stunned, and I was like shocked, because I'm like, seriously? And it just kind of really made me start thinking more for myself, and like not like condemning myself for coming up with my own concepts about things. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense, but
Yes, it makes complete sense. Complete sense.
yeah.
So, does the devil exist according to Napoleon Hill? As in, he has horns, he has a terrible and horrible appearance? No, I do
Right.
not believe that. Absolutely not. And he has brought it much clearer meaning into what the devil is and how he operates. So he
On
operates
here.
on as an atom. He makes the negative part of the atom, whereas infinite intelligence, or God makes, I hope I don't offend anyone here, but I believe in God. But if
I do too. Praise
anyone's
God.
offended, I can not say the word, and I can just say infinite
I
intelligence.
believe in God.
So the negative part of the atom is what has more of an effect on each and every one of us, just because it's much easier to arouse, to not confine, but to unleash the power of hate, of negativity, of rejection, of turning away from situations. So before I want to go on, I started to post a few days in reference to this book indirectly, and I just want to go over it yesterday. Yesterday I did a post. I hope you all saw it. It was 52 seconds long, about the tiger and the lion.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen it, yes.
That's awesome.
Did you know that's me and that's you? Did you know that?
I thought about that. I just didn't want to be the one just sitting around watching everything pass me by. I prefer to be the lion that just jumped out there.
The lion, right? So
yes.
believe it or not, that's me and you. That's you and me.
I could believe that.
Right? So what are we waiting for to get out there and do what we need to do? What are we waiting for? You have the tools necessary. If you need a little bit more planning before you implement, you have to set a date when you're going to get to execution. All right? Daquan and I go over investing regularly, and he implements little bit because he knows that he's at high risk for losing. All right? We all can lose money, and the higher you go, the more money you can lose. So that you have to do it. You just have to do it. There's no other way. So the reality is, let me see. Let me keep it that way so I don't flip the camera. But Martha has a beautiful view on the camera, and I have the wrong view on this camera. So the reality is this. Okay. Number one. Okay. The law of hypnotic rhythm. You know what that is?
No.
It's the same thing as the law of compensation. Right? Whatever you're doing right now will amount to what you get paid. That's the best way to put it.
What was that word that you used, David? If you don't mind me
The
asking?
law of hypnotic rhythm. Hypnotic rhythm.
Oh, okay. All right. Gotcha.
Right? So it's the same as the law of compensation. And the law of compensation is basically whatever you're putting in for work is what you will get paid. That's basically the most basic way to explain it. All right? Now, time plus thinking, they're also interrelated with all of this. And then what's the negative side of this? Drifting. Drifting. So in the book, Napoleon Hill summarizes the 7 things that are most necessary for us to outwit the devil. But I want to go over into the part of outwitting the devil, because I believe that's the thing that leaves a lot of us with questions. Number 1, this book was written in 1938.
1938.
1938, if I can only guess, because I didn't research, it was at the time when he was secluded to running away into the hills of West Virginia, where he thought people were going to go and kill him. And he was there for at least a year, if not 2 years, right? Away from everybody, very scared. He feared for his life. What did he do? He did nothing. He was just mentioned by his partner, or someone who was supposed to be his partner, in a newspaper industry. And the mafia was looking for him to kill him, because the mafia in the police. So there's a police chief who didn't want to get arrested for doing whatever he was doing. So they thought that Napoleon Hill was involved, and Napoleon Hill ran away. So he lived in fear, and all this trauma went in his head throughout this year. And that's the time when he was writing his book. I know it was the time that he was writing this book, Outwitting the Devil, right? How did he get to communicate with the devil? He talked to himself. Now, I don't know if you picked this up from the book, but I did. He talked to himself, because all the replies were how he replies in his other book, in Think and Grow Rich, in Selling You, and there are other books. He has other books. I've read Selling You. That's another book we're gonna go into in this group as well. And so
they probably was talking to his wife.
No, he was not talking to his wife. He was talking to himself. So now I'm gonna go into what happened with his wife. So the biggest thing, that the link between everything that I just said and the 7 things, is having a mastermind. So for him, his mastermind was his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, if his wife said jump, he would jump. If his wife said no, he's on a leash. He can't do anything. So this book was written in 1938, and his wife said, you cannot publish this book.
Yeah.
You absolutely cannot publish this book. She feared for their lives. She feared for rejection.
Yes.
She feared for everything that he could not think of. All right? That he was not. So because he loved his wife, he did exactly as she did. And she was afraid that after he died in 1970, she died in 1984, she still would not publish the book.
Until after her death, she said.
Until after her death. How many years until after her death?
Wow.
27 years after her death. Is that right? Yeah, 27 years after her death. So fear plays a major part in each and every one of us. And you've got to become fearless, in the sense that Tony Robbins promote this. I promote this. Am I an expert speaker? Not yet. But you bet that when I become what I become, you are all in the closest circle to me. When you become what you become, I'm certain that you'll have a place for me somewhere. Right? What does it take? It takes doing the same thing over and over again until you get it right. That's all. That's all. You know, Napoleon Hill did many books at the beginning, and he got it all wrong. He didn't know how to write in the beginning. So whatever it is that you want to do, if you've started to do it, great. If you're doing it wrong, great, because you're going to learn. That's the way you learn, right? I lost money in the stock market. Dequan, I don't know how much money you've lost in the market, but that's part of the process. If you don't hire someone to teach you, you're still gonna lose some money. That's just part of the process. Part of the process. Most people neglect the process because all they think about, I want to make money. I want to make money. So, you know, Ariane didn't get her logo and brand immediately overnight. It took time, and I think she explained how she was doing some other work, and then she went into doing logo and branding. She tried it on a part-time basis, I believe, was the conversation. Is that right, Ariane? So correct me if I'm wrong, but
Yeah, I started in magazine newspaper design, and
Correct.
as the recession of 2008, 2009,
Yes.
my job outlook changed, and from then I've moved on to branding and marketing.
So I dare to say that your job was that you parted from your job in order to build a career. You have
Well,
taken
I had to adapt, like how
but
we're doing now.
so the reality is that that's how we see things, but the way that we should be seeing it is embracing the new. So this adaptation is more of an embracing of what will be a better and improved lifestyle, opportunity, and so on. So just like Napoleon Hill says. So in reference to this book was published in 2011, 73 years after it was published. It was released, sorry, released in 2011, 73 years after it was published. Why is this so important? Why? Because it is a book that's going to become very, very powerful in the next few years. It doesn't have 10 years yet. It takes time for a book to become well known sometimes. And this book deserves a big place.
Because this book is it's become a reality. That's what we're living now.
Yes. So this is another thing that I wanted to tell you in reference to this book. I had a post the other day that tells you, you know, we don't die. We are energy. When energy is created, it doesn't die. It is transformed. We are energy. We're not going to die. Our bodies may die. Our bodies may perish. But where did I get this from? Another book that we had, if you remember. Stuart Wilde's book. Anybody remember the title? Stuart Wilde?
I didn't read the book.
Didn't read the book?
I forgot.
Yeah.
I read it, but I forgot.
Yeah, I don't remember the title either, but yes, I remember reading it.
Well,
Stuart
that
Wilde.
book. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to ask David if he's the one that walked away from his fortune, right, and just left
Yes.
everything and threw away his
Correct.
$1 million pad key and yeah, and never looked
That's
back.
it. That's it.
Okay. I forgot the name of the book though.
So
Yeah.
It was great
Well,
though. It was really great. It was a great read.
I'll leave it for homework because a lot of these books require reading over and over again. And
But it's a nice book. I don't know the name.
so
Yeah, it was a great concept.
I will give you. No, hold on. I have the book.
I see it start after the book.
I forgot the book name too, but I have it written down. So give me a second right here. I have it in my book. And I think oh no, that's Martha is pretty new to the group, so she doesn't know exactly all that we've gone through. So let me just see here. I'm going to tell you right now what this is about. This is a very powerful book, and it is, let's see. Sorry, I wrote it down in 2 spots so that I don't ever lose it. Where is Stuart Wilde's name? Here we go. Infinite Self, 33 Steps.
Right.
33
Infinite
steps.
Self. 33 steps.
And
right.
so nobody remembers, but that book is pretty powerful as well. All these books are very powerful. All you have to do is pick one book and live by it, and eventually you will grow. That's all we have to do. That's all we have to do. And you don't have to learn everything in one shot in all these books. Like, I'm certain that each of you has a special trait that you can go and explain to us, and you probably sell us. And if you don't sell us, then that means you just need to rehearse it a little bit more. You have to build it into your lifestyle. So this is how I want to summarize this book, because I don't want to leave you a lot, but this is very important. If you'd like to get a pen and write these down, these are the main points of this book. It's 7 main points, and the 4 that I mentioned. So I just want to go over them again. The law of
I'm sorry, David. Are you recording it?
Yes, I am recording.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
So first, this is the first part that Napoleon Hill emphasizes. Practice the law of hypnotic rhythm, which is the same as the law of compensation. Meaning, whatever you do will reflect what you get paid. So the more you think and the more time you apply into it, eventually it will bring back multiplied amount of money. If you remember, when Napoleon Hill started listening to himself, he started seeing many more opportunities. For example, he didn't know where money would come about from. Has this happened to any of you?
Yes.
A lot of what he goes through, I listen to myself, and sometimes I have to tell myself to shut up because I have to decipher who's telling the truth in my brain.
Thank you. I thought it was just me.
So
thanks for clarifying, Dave.
So the reality is, I've made money listening to myself, but I've got to be careful because there's another part to myself that wants me to lose money and wants me to make wrong judgments. So we are on the same boat. So when you think and you talk to yourself, that's when you have your biggest growth. That's when Napoleon Hill has had his biggest growth. So I don't know if you've had the chance to meditate. No, Ruth and Gina are the queens of meditation, and I think about them regularly. What would they be doing right now in reference to meditation? How can I meditate even for 1 minute? Meditation is powerful. This is part of this. Hypnotic rhythm requires you to think. Hypnotize yourself with envisioning what you want in life. That's what I do every day. I think about it. That's how you outwit the devil. The devil wants you to complain, wants you to be unhappy with whatever you have. The devil wants you to hate what you're doing, wants you to be complacent with doing nothing. So if you're doing nothing, expect nothing in return. Expect the devil to be happy. The devil is within each one of us in the form of the negative part of the atom. All right? So the third part to that first section there is drifting. This is a powerful word. How do you drift? If you leave something for tomorrow, then guess what? That tomorrow is not going to come. Now you've put it off so much that it's not going to come back. You've got to do it. That video yesterday explains this drifting very powerfully. All right? The tiger wants to eat, but can't jump in, doesn't know when to jump in, and the lion comes out of nowhere and takes it. Right? I'm not saying, I'm not promoting violence, but this is just a reality. This is how nature works. So our nature is to go after what we want. If you don't go after it, somebody else will. Right? So here are the 7 keys out of outwitting the devil. Number 1, your definiteness of purpose. You have your definiteness of purpose. What do you want to do? Ariane was just talking about logo and branding, and that's why this has to do with everything. Your mission statement. Your mission statement. That's your definiteness of purpose. Number 2, mastery over self. Yourself is going to be your worst enemy. It's going to tell you, you can't do this. Why are you doing this? What do you think you are? Why are you writing a book? Why are you building a business? Why are you starting branding? Why are you starting investing? Whatever it may be, you've got to master your emotions. Tell yourself to shut up. Tell yourself to be quiet in your court because you're in charge here, not your negative ions. Number 3, learning from adversity. We're going to face adversity. We're going to lose at times. We're going to have challenges. People are going to dislike us, are going to talk about us, going to complain to us. Whatever it is, you got to learn from it. What can you learn? Talk to someone if you don't know what to do. Research, read a book, just like we're doing here. That's number 3. Number 4, controlling the environment, the influence or association, right? If you're surrounded by 4 or 5 friends who are broke, who are in debt, who don't want to do much more than what they're already doing, and don't want you to do much more than what they're already doing, then guess what? Don't you think that you have to ask yourself a better question? When is now to get better friends a good time? When is now a good time to get better friends? You have them here in this book club. People who want to excel. You have them in, some of you in the $100 million run, and some of you in my trading group, and some of you in the Rich Way. So each one belongs to a different program. Number 5, time. Give permanency to positive thought. Give permanency to positive thought. Time. It takes time to think, to meditate, to envision, to write down your goals. If you don't have this written down, this is part of your logo, your brand, your mission statement. If you don't have your mission statement, if you don't have your business goals, everyone should have your business goals. Don't tell me that you don't have a business. You are a business. That's what Ariane is trying to focus here on. All right? I've got to get talking with Ariane. And Ariane, I don't know where we fit in, but after seeing your face look quirky 2 or 3 times, I need some help. Right? Can you just nod your head? I don't want to hear it much more than that. Yeah. So.
We're on, David.
So I'm not saying that Ariane will have the perfect answer, but I am saying that she will get us to where we want to get to quicker if we consult with her. All right. Number 6. Okay. Number 6, harmony. Harmony. You've got to dominate your self-influence over yourself. You've got to have harmony. Your mental, your physical, and your spiritual harmony. So mental, what do you want? How are you going to get there? Your physical, eat right. Don't eat too much. Eat right, don't eat too much. Have some vegetables. Have some more vegetables. Have a little bit of meat. Have very little fried food. Because the older we get, the chances are higher of us leaving this world. So you've got to take care of yourself now. And it's unbelievable, but there are a lot of younger people dying because of diabetes, cancer, constipation, chest issues. Those are the main reasons people die. You're not hearing about it that much in the media right now, but that's very important. What's the other thing that we need harmony with? The spiritual. That's the meditation. That's the being gratefulness, our attitude, or as I would say, as when I went to the Tony Robbins concert, Unleash the Power Within, your attitude, ASSTITUDE, all right? You got to be a badass. You've got to be a person who wants whatever it is they want. You've got to go after it, just like the lion, right? Are you a lion? Or are you a tiger, right? You've got to think. Ask yourself that regularly. So harmony, have some harmony. And number 7, have some caution for thinking on your plan before you act. And this is where Ariane comes in reference to logo and branding. You want to share an image out there. Are you taking the time to think? Are you taking the time to consult with someone? Are you taking the time to know what this all means, just like I did right in front of you all? That's how important this is. Realize that if you want to outwit the devil within you, you're going to have to do some things that will make you feel uncomfortable. Right? Whether it is reading a book, whether it is just getting out of where you are right now, or risk dying without having tried it? How many years have you been risking not attempting to win the battle or to attempt the battle? All right? Did you lose already? And now you're afraid? When are you going to attempt it again? Or move on? You've got choices. You always have a choice. I spoke today to a young woman from Mexico who was 9 months pregnant, and she was in the hospital for 3 days during this coronavirus. And I've never met her. I've never seen her visually, but we've spoken on WhatsApp, and we've spoken through a group that I'm a part of. And she lost her baby at birth. And the first thing I told her was, let me see, I just want to say exactly what I said. You might think I'm crazy, which I probably am.
No, you're not.
And
Yeah,
it's okay to be a little crazy living in this town.
Well, hey.
You're crazy.
So
Say,
this is
I
what,
think we are a little crazy.
a good person.
right? So this is what I told her. Her name is Maggie. Maggie, you are special.
Oh,
You are special, Maggie.
yeah. Too.
God knows what's happening to you. God has amazing and unbelievable things that you're going to have accomplished in your life. When can we talk? Did that sell you or not?
That would make me want to talk to you.
Thank you, Daquan. I see the thumbs up. So that's what my purpose was. Not to bring her down and say, oh, sorry for your loss. Oh, I feel really bad. You lost a baby. Oh, my God. That's terrible. How many times have you heard this?
It's
Right?
still
You hear that
sad for
all
a
the
woman,
time,
David.
right?
It's not personal.
Right? You hear that all the time, but that's not my point. I want to be different. I want to tell you, okay, this is, I gave her some homework today. I spoke to her. With her, look, you've hit the bottom. I can't tell you how to grieve, but you have to grieve. You have to cry. You have to, you know, you might not feel hungry, but eventually you're going to have to do a few things. I'm going to give you some homework. Eventually you're going to have to watch some comedy, or you're going to have to have someone tell you some jokes, right? Eventually you're going to have to ask yourself, what does this all mean? Because it could have been 3 different scenarios. 1, your baby dies, which that's what happened. 2, you die and your baby lives. 3, you both die. And there could have been other scenarios as well. So what am I trying to tell you? There is more than one way to look at this. Are you looking at this from a different perspective? From a different perspective.
That makes sense.
Right? So we're going to lose someone in our lives, and we've got to be prepared for it now. How? Be grateful. Call these people once in a while, visit them once in a while. And that's just a reality. All right? So these are the things that Napoleon Hill tells us to do, to be aware of. Number 1, places of prayer. The schools to learn answers, and they don't teach us how to think. The schools should show us how to lead instead of following rules. Another thing that we need to do is budget our time, our use of time. How? For example, what's your morning routine before 9 a.m.? Ask yourself, is it working for you? Are you getting the best out of it? What's my morning routine right now? I'm getting ready to write a book, and I take 20 to 30 minutes to do exercise, 20 to 30 minutes to write my my itemized list of what I'm going to write for this book. And then number 3, I start at 8 in the morning my investing in the stock market. I don't know if it's a lot. I don't know how you feel. And obviously within that time, that's from 6 to 9 in the morning that I get that done, 6 to 9. I try to get up at 5 in the morning, but at 6, I also meditate when I get up. So I take anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes to meditate what I want in life. You don't have to have it perfect, right? What do you want? What do you want? Do you want money? Do you want to live in a certain place, a certain house? Do you want to, if for those of you who are single, what, you got to ask yourself, if you're looking for a relationship, if I knew I was going to meet the right person in 60 days or in 100 days, whatever it is you want to say, what do I do now to get prepared? Right? Not only that, what do you want in a relationship? I failed that. I didn't know about this. So, meaning, I didn't know what I wanted in a relationship, except I wanted someone who was educated, who was willing to work, who was willing to help me out. So my wife helps me out, but she also challenges me. Geez, if Napoleon Hill's wife challenged him, then my wife is maybe not like his wife, but she supports me and she challenges me. So that is the type of relationship that we all need, isn't it? Right? Sometimes we'll be in agreement. Sometimes we'll just have to agree because although we disagree, for me, the woman is always right. Right? But the last word, the man has. Does anyone want to ask me what's the last word?
Yes.
It's yes.
What's the last word, David?
The last word is, are you sure you're ready? Daquan,
Yes.
are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Yes, dear.
You ready? All right, here we go. Yes, dear. That's the last word.
Sounds
Yes,
great.
dear. Thank you, Charles. Yes, dear. All right? So the man has the final word. And the final word is yes, dear. So I got you all. I got you all. So this is the reality. All right? This is how you outwit the devil. Okay? You can fight him off. You can fight your spouse and always be against it. No, I don't agree with you. Screw you. You can always have it much easier and say, yes, you're right. My wife, when she gets upset with me, and I always stay quiet, and I go, you're right. She's like all pissed off and upset. She can't say anything else. But the reason is that I say that is she is right. Every time she says something, she sees something that I don't see. And I've got to figure it out. She figures it out like a hawk sees its prey from miles away or thousands and thousands of feet away. So you've got to have these types of relationships that can correct you, that can mold you, that can shape you. So outwitting the devil. We're going to run into fear. If you run into fear, if you can't solve it on your own, you've got to contact someone. If you're afraid to contact someone, write it down. Ask yourself questions. Read a book. And knock on people's doors. Because if you don't knock on the door, who's going to open? Nobody. You're going to be all alone. So for those of us who need to brand ourselves and do some logo insights, I'm going to be calling Ariane. And probably tomorrow I'll call her and see if she's available. But I need to sharpen my branding, and let's help each other out. Let's build each other up. You are my priority. I appreciate you, and I want you to grow. Today I got a call from Trudy. Dequan and I spoke last night. I appreciate these calls because as limited time that we have with each other, it helps us to grow. I don't know if I helped each and every one of you that I spoke to, Trudy and Dequan, but I appreciate the call anyhow, because there's power in communication. There's power in seeing each other in person. So eventually, we're going to build an empire. But you need to have the little things, not the big things, the little things in place. Get your logo together. Get your brand together, one step at a time. Have a mission statement. If you need to build a business statement, talk to me. Ariane can help you with that as well. I don't know who else here. Probably Charles can help out as well. Probably. But if you need assistance, let's build this. Dequan, I don't know. Do you have a business statement, Dequan? Yep. Yeah. Dequan has a mission statement, a business statement. So let's work together. Don't forget that this mastermind group is to help you grow. You have a question. A question is a problem that is waiting to be resolved in the form of a question, right? We've just got to figure out what is the question, all right? Anyone have any questions before we sign off here?
Yeah, David, I had a quick question. Number 2 of that list that you gave us, I missed that one. Can you repeat that
Number
for me,
2,
please?
mastery mastery over yourself. Over self.
Okay, master yourself. Okay.
Yes,
Gotcha.
very, very, very important. So.
And there were 7 of them?
I'm gonna post a picture of it. If you can read my, I'll post it in the group, all right? But only you who are here will know. Everybody will be like, what is this? So I will post it in the group. If that helps. Okay.
Okay, that would be
Everyone.
helpful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really, really appreciate you, each and every one of you. And let's build this together. Let's keep working. I'm gonna post tomorrow's book in the group. And the book is going to be none other than the one I already mentioned, Selling You by Napoleon Hill.
Napoleon Hill.
Again, yes.
That's awesome.
Napoleon Hill. If you're against it, I think that we're talking about logo and branding. I think we need to know how to sell each other. I think that Ariane and each and every one of us is here for a reason. Let's build each other up. Let's sell ourselves. Do not be afraid to sell yourself in the most viable way that you can produce. Sell yourself with knowledge, sell yourself with thinking, with the hypnotic rhythm, the law of hypnotic rhythm, which is the law of compensation. Okay? Got it? Everyone, have a great evening. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. Thank you for sharing with me. Thank you, Ruth. Thank you, Trudy. Thank you, Martha, Ariane, Dequan, Charles, and Ty. Thank you very much for this book. Very powerful book. I listened to this book twice this week. It was really powerful. Thank you. Charles, I love your glasses. Very nice.
Thank you.
Take care, Charles. All right?
You too, David.
All right. Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.
Good
Thank
night,
you so much,
everyone.
David. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.